This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They give you the cure with the sickness. This is a war on tradition. This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They give you the cure with the sickness. This is a war. This is a war.
This is a war that we living through, never reveal to you that they also leaving killing you. They don't tell you what the hell you agreeing to, sheeping and hurting you, don't know who leading you. Keep on proceeding to follow, your mind is so hollow. Are you being coddled by government swallowing up everything that the media tell you without a question or a problem? All of the sheep being slaughtered, they poison the water, removing the father, ain't trusting these daughters, ignoring blue collar, keep printing the dollar, and washing your sons and your daughters, ain't got any honor if I'm being honest. I just ain't picking this side, but I'm not around for my freedom and die for my freedom and question the government lies. A lot on my mind, it's so little time, gotta think all of us needing a sign. The devil he hides, an ego and pride, they sell, they paying the price. God won't give you more than you can handle. Government should be dismantled. Every politician got a scandal. Prepare for the war, we going to battle.
Holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, we had an entirely different show for you today from the Birch Gold Studios. We are here live, but wow, we got breaking news this very second. The head of CNN, the top dog, the number one person at the company, the number one person at CNN for many years is resigning. His name is Jeff Zucker. Jeff Zucker is the president of CNN. The president of CNN is gone. Why? This is the statement on your screen. You can see it here. A statement from Jeff Zucker. This is a man who Tucker Carlson calls the Dwarf King. We have this for you on a breaking... this was broken 5 minutes ago. And so we changed our show up in order to get the details. I will get you the details right now in his statement. What happened was he was caught having an affair with a subordinate. Oh man, the witch's kitchen of CNN. Let's read the statement from Jeff Zucker and I'll go through what we know as of right now. As part of the investigation into Chris Cuomo's tenure at CNN, I was asked about a consensual relationship with my colleague. So, wow, Chris Cuomo, the witch's kitchen, the rat's nest continues to spiral downward toward hell at CNN. What a festering, diseased temple that place is. Here is the statement from Jeff Zucker. So, Chris Cuomo's investigation unearthed a lie that Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN, Chris Cuomo's boss, was having an affair, an extramarital affair with a colleague. That's right. I was asked about a consensual relationship with my closest colleague, someone I'd worked with for more than 20 years. I acknowledge the relationship evolved in recent years. I was requested to disclose it, but I didn't. I was wrong. As a result, I'm resigning today, he says. Jeff Zucker says in the statement, I came to CNN on January 28th, 2013. Together, we had 9 great years together. Goodness gracious. I certainly wish my tenure here had ended differently, but it was an amazing run. I loved every minute. Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, your audience didn't love every minute. Your audience has fled like they were running across an open border on our southern border. I am grateful to the thousands of incredibly talented CNN and Turner Sports employees who helped make this such a joy for me, such a success for all of us. I wish each of you nothing but the best in the years ahead. With gratitude and love. That is what the statement says there from Jeff Zucker. What a diseased, rotten place. CNN. Disgusting. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. It is absolutely, definitionally the worst place on planet Earth to work. CNN. A place that in the last 6 months, we have learned, has had to fire its top anchor for intimidating sexual assault victims. His name was Chris Cuomo, and trying to cover up the serial sexual assault dalliances of his scumbag brother, the disgraced governor of New York. Chris Cuomo, fired. Multiple pedophiles at CNN have been revealed in various grotesque news reports, and now multiple pedophiles at CNN have been fired. This is over the last 6 months. CNN has now fired or has allowed its president to resign. Jeff Zucker is resigned for having an affair with a lying about it. CNN still employs Jeffrey Toobin, who is a serial masturbator, serial Zoom public masturbator, still a man on the airwaves of CNN, and Don Lemon, a anchor at CNN, he has been credibly accused of sexual assault also. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Could the rat's nest get any worse at CNN? It is a disgusting, sickening, diseased temple that should be just shoved into the East River. You should just rip the building down, CNN, and start over, or maybe just let it rot. CNN has made a decision in the Trump years, I think very much because of Jeff Zucker, to go hard into opinion journalism. Not being objective, not being the CNN that you saw at the airport when you were a kid playing, where they would just read you the news. But no, CNN decided to send propagandists and agents, political agents, in the name of journalism into the White House. You all remember Jim Acosta. You all remember the humiliation of CNN's reporting on so many different bombshells that turned out to be fake when it came to the Russia and Russiagate disinformation campaign. CNN was ground zero super spreader for disinformation. They are a disgusting, sickening place. If you have a daughter who works at CNN, rip her out of CNN. Get her out of there. If you know someone who works at CNN, send them a text today saying maybe now is the time that you should go. Things are not going to get better. They're going to get worse. There's a lot of rumblings and a lot of rumors out there that this was an offer for Jeff Zucker to resign because something worse is coming for CNN. An offer for Jeff Zucker to take the easy way out. While it seems like this is humiliating, this is the easy way out for Jeff Zucker. Just say, oh, hey, it's a consensual relationship with one of my subordinates, and I'm just going to move along. Ladies and gentlemen, what we hear, that we cannot validate our reports just yet, but that very bad things are about to happen at CNN. CNN has lost 90% of its viewership year over year from 2021 to this year. That is not a sustainable business model. CNN is collapsing. CNN was just sold to the Discovery networks, and it is being revealed right now through Brian Stelter's email. It is being revealed right now that that Brian Stelter knows the name and identity of the person that Jeff Zucker lied about having a extramarital affair with. Hold on, let me get the name. This is public knowledge. We, of course, aren't trying to name or shame anyone. This is all out there, and it is so sickening. You may remember that CNN is also the place that allowed Andrew Cuomo on air while he was slaughtering tens of thousands of innocent old people inside of nursing homes, saying, I want these people dead. I know what I'm doing. I know that this is a respiratory infection. I'm going to shove sick COVID patients into nursing homes. Then he lied about it, according to Letitia James, the Attorney General at inside of New York. He lied about the deaths, covering up to 12,000 nursing home deaths, all while being a sexual deviant and serially sexually assaulting people in Albany. It is absolutely disgusting. Allison Gollust is the name of the woman who was having an affair with Jeff Zucker. Why is this relevant? This is the same person who was the communications director for Andrew Cuomo. Yes, there are only 6 people in the state of New York, and every single one of them is having an affair with the other person or attempting to cover up the sexual deviance of the next person. Incredible. The Cuomos, Andrew Cuomo, Jeff Zucker, who allowed the Cuomos to go on air. You remember the Q-tips?
Oh, hey, do you got the Q-tip? Your nose is so big. You got the Q-tip with the shotgun nose? Durr.
While his brother is a serial killer, murdering little old ladies and little old men. Absolutely sickening. And it turns out that now Alison Gollust, the person who was having the affair with Jeff Zucker, has relationships with the Cuomos. She was, and I'm reading here to you from Jimmy Valikind, verified Twitter handle of a Wall Street Journal reporter. So Wall Street Journal is reporting that Alison Gollust was the communications director for Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo felled by sexual harassment allegations. Chris Cuomo felled by investigations, helping Andrew grapple with the allegations. And investigations into Chris Cuomo has now led to Jeff Zucker resigning in disgrace and maybe worse. CNN, as we have reported multiple times, has been bought by the Discovery Channel, and CNN is probably going to be stripped down for parts and thrown into the East River. Seriously, the top shareholder inside of the Discovery Channel is saying that CNN needs to essentially just be broken down for scrap metal, right? And sold at auction. Wow. What a disaster. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, it really is remarkable the way that God works. You know, we have a show, we have a channel here that it's not, I am simply a simple Christian, but I really do believe in karma. And I know karma is sort of a Buddhist maxim. But ladies and gentlemen, whatever goes around comes around. CNN covered up for serial sexual predators. CNN amplified the despicable, unfounded sexual assault claims against Brett Kavanaugh. They were the worst of anyone to do that. CNN put Stormy Daniels and Michael Avenatti on air nonstop for what seemed like a year or more in order to slander Donald Trump, in order to defame and slander and malign President Trump. CNN allowed the Cuomo show to go on, where a serial killer governor is getting interviewed by his brother, and they never put any reins on that. They never, ever tried to stop that from happening. What a diseased place. And as many people on Twitter are pointing out right now, multiple pedophiles have been found among the ranks. One of them, I believe, is in federal custody right now. Worked on Chris Cuomo's show. Another pedophile worked on Jake Tapper's show. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can't. You can't see anything other than dark, sickening, boomerang style justice here. Whatever goes around comes around, old timers tend to say, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And when you look at the amount of sick propaganda that CNN ran on over the last 4 years, the gear changing at CNN in order to turn itself into a partisan cancel culture witch hunt. They're right now trying to cancel Joe Rogan. Just yesterday, the palace eunuch that Tucker calls Brian Stelter attempted to cancel Joe Rogan by saying that CNN has more credibility than Joe Rogan, the most listened to man on the planet, between 11 and 15 million listeners, viewers, watchers, audience. That is multiple thousands of orders of magnitude bigger than CNN's audience. And here's Brian Stelter whining that Joe Rogan should be deplatformed. Again, why don't you go ahead and look at the log inside of your own eye, you sick bastards. You predators. Just a despicable witch's kitchen here. Ben Shapiro says Zucker was nailing Gollust, who used to work for Andrew Cuomo. Zucker was paying Chris, who was working for Andrew. Chris, CNN, spent all of 2020 painting Andrew as the greatest governor in the country, while he shoved COVID and elderly people into nursing homes and then covered it up. Yeah. It is a crime right now. If there is one major crime right now on the internet, it is this. It is that Donald Trump is not able to tweet, not able to live tweet about Jeff Zucker's resignation. And something that we do all know, of course, is that Jeff Zucker and Donald Trump were very close. They worked together on The Apprentice at NBC. Jeff Zucker, in released phone calls that were shockingly damaging, was advising Donald Trump. I remember the story. I don't have it in front of me, but was advising Donald Trump on his presidential run. So this is how disgusting these people are. You know, I tell you what, rat eat rat, dog eat dog. You put your lot in with the rats, you're going to behave like a rat. A rat, when it's hungry, will eat its own kids. A rat, when it's starving, will literally eat its best, eat the rat next to it. They're disgusting animals. No loyalty, and absolutely nothing redeemable about them. And now you're seeing the rat's nest, the disease temple and witch's kitchen of CNN collapsing upon itself. There'll be no one left at CNN by the end of this week. Brian Stelter will be just sitting there wondering who's going to put him back together again when he falls off the wall. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here is the next docket on the news, ladies and gentlemen. We have Donald Trump. We have CNN. We have Hillary Clinton. Is time a flat circle? It is indeed. It is a flat circle, and we are right back to where we were 4 or 5 years ago, 2016, talking about the same things. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and CNN. The election of 2024 looms large, and our show is predicting a matchup. We think it's happening. Hillary versus Trump 2.0. The crackening is going to happen again. All the rumors are there. Everybody can see it. It's the teams are lining up. The Democratic Party is, if you're watching closely, sabotaging Joe Biden. And they are doing it systematically. And they realize that Joe Biden is absolutely damaged goods, and they are going to be done with him. And so they are taking up the only mantle they have left, which is Queen of Cackle herself, not Kamala, ladies and gentlemen, the person that Kamala studied under at Cackle University, Esquire, Hillary Clinton. Clip 1, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, the original is back. Let this haunt your dreams.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So put it a different way. Wouldn't it be insane of you to run for office again?
When are you going to decide whether you're running for president?
How important is it for there to be a woman president in the United States?
The attention seems over the top, to be honest, but that's somebody else's decision.
Over the top is okay when you're selling a book.
About President Obama and how one-time rival and now the friendship that you were able to forge and how it was like being on a first date when you all after.
It was.
So just quick responses to some of the things that people are asking and how it would be known for your sense of humor.
Florida. When you pose it like that.
When you pose it like that.
We give Kamala a lot of crap for cackling. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, she is the Patrick Mahomes of cackling to Hillary Clinton's Tom Brady, the original OG cackler. Hillary Clinton, we should put a warning before we play that video. A warning for anyone who has sensitive ears that your ears may bleed upon listening to Hillary Clinton cackling. You ready for more, America? Breitbart.com says that Hillary is back. All right, here we go. President Joe Biden has polled behind Hillary Clinton in a hypothetical Florida Democrat primary, along with trailing former President Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis in a Florida general election matchup. Tuesday, Suffolk University USA Today poll revealed. These polls, by the way, you have to understand, you have to read through the lines here. Two reasons why we can predict very, very confidently that Hillary Clinton will run for president in 2024. One, the deep state is sabotaging and turning on Joe Biden. We are seeing leaks from the war room inside of the White House, leaks from intelligence community, apparatchiks, and from people with privileged information that are damaging and devastating to Joe Biden. Axios last night came out with a leak from inside the Situation Room. Well, how the hell do you get a leak from inside the Situation Room? Ladies and gentlemen, they are turning on Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not one of them. Joe Biden effed up so badly in Afghanistan, and now the super state and the permanent state, sometimes called the deep state in America, are going to turn on Joe. Joe Biden is not one of them. Hillary Clinton is the queen of the deep state and the forever war, sabotage, permanent state. And she can command them to do whatever is in her best interest. And right now, they are being commanded to leak on Joe Biden. All you have to do is read the tea leaves. Go ahead and check out John Swan's report at Axios.com. Leaked information from inside of the Situation Room showing exactly how incompetent Joe Biden was and unprepared for Afghanistan. It's almost like it was all planned. It's almost like they put the old doddering fool into office in order to smash his knees with a sledgehammer, in order to cripple him, and in order to pave the way for the queen of all warmongers, Hillary Clinton, to stride into the office once more. That's what they want. They want the rematch. They're sabotaging Joe. All you have to do is read the tea leaves and see what they're leaking. These polls, Suffolk University polls, USA Today poll, why would corporate media, USA Today, corporate low information media, why would they be polling for Hillary Clinton? Why? Why would they be polling for Hillary Clinton for 2024? These polls cost money. These polls are expensive. They're doing it because they are doing exactly what they're told. They're good little soldiers and propagandists who go and wander out into the field in order to start pushing polls. Polls are one of the very rare little data points that you have in politics to hang your hat on, right? So this poll says that Hillary Clinton is trouncing Joe Biden in the extremely important state of Florida. And it is leading to a lot of rumors about Hillary Clinton hopping in. You've seen the Wall Street Journal articles recently saying that Hillary is the best bet. A lot of Democrats are saying that our bench is so weak and we are so absolutely crippled by Joe Biden and our progressive wing. The only person that could unite us is Hillary Clinton. Jesse Waters had this to say on his show about a Hillary comeback, and we think he's right.
And what better time than now? Just last night, she stepped back into the political spotlight for the first time since 2020, headlining a top dollar fundraiser for Ohio Senate candidate Tim Ryan. Notice Biden wasn't the headliner. And in a recent Suffolk poll, she's beating Biden in Florida. This poll's been bouncing around all day through the Clinton world. Democrats are desperate, and so's Hillary. So desperate, she's gone full Trump on China. Listen.
China has disrupted the market. China is not a free market economy. We tried. We let them into the World Trade Organization. We sent our businesses over there. We made trade deals. They are a controlled top-down economy. You will never compete and win against them unless you take back the means of production.
Wasn't it her husband, Bill, who paved the way for China to get into the WTO? Just throw Bill right under the bus. Wouldn't be the first time she stepped on him on the way to the top.
So here we go. They are doing it all over again. Hillary Clinton, they're going to drag her bloated corpse back from the riverbank up into the pedestal and say, go again. That's right. We're going to triple down on stupid, the same plate that gave the Democrat Party 4 epic years of Donald Trump. They're going to go back for seconds and say now is Hillary's time. And we have even less to run on, right? Because we're running on the broken and failed policies of Joe Biden. Now, don't you want a second helping, ladies and gentlemen? Don't you want Joe Biden's best friend, Hillary Clinton, in office. Don't you miss Hillary? Whew. Let's see what the poll finds. Poll found that Hillary Clinton, in a 2024 potential race, leads Biden in the battleground state of Florida by 3 points, okay, with likely voters. If Hillary decides not to run in 2024, Biden becomes the Democrat nominee. Both Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis polled better than Biden in a head-to-head matchup. Trump holds a 3-point advantage over Biden in Florida. Okay, that seems like a little low. I feel like Donald Trump would be beating Biden better than that. DeSantis holds a margin of 8 percentage points over Biden, 52 to 44. So that is DeSantis just knocking Joe Brandon's dentures directly out of his mouth. If DeSantis were to enter the presidential primary race in Florida against Trump, former president from Palm Beach holds a 7-point lead against the presiding governor. That's interesting. So Trump would beat DeSantis head-to-head in Florida. This is what the poll finds. While Biden appears vulnerable in the Sunshine State, neither Ron DeSantis nor Donald Trump has announced the presidential bid. Trump recently quipped at a golf match that he is the 45th and 47th president. we have that clip a little out of order here, Sam, but let's go ahead and play the clip 4 if we can. Can we toss clip 4 up there to watch Trump say that he is the 45th and 47th president? That's a little telling.
First on T, 45th president of the United States.
45th and 47th.
47th. Yes.
I love that.
Mr. Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump National. Beautiful. What an easy game. I think it's pretty boring to be middle all the time.
You want to keep it low. That wind's stronger than you think, huh? Yeah.
So, you have Donald Trump. I mean, we've been asking this question, actually. We don't know. What happens when you become president a second time? I think that Teddy Roosevelt is the only person who has, I think it's Teddy Roosevelt, but you can check me on this. Let me know in the comments. Teddy Roosevelt was president, left office, and then ran for president again and won. So what does it mean? Do you get the title of 45 and 47, or do you keep 45? Does it switch back and forth? Which one do you use? Do you use the newest one? Would you call Donald Trump 47? Is that the number? Because Joe Biden is 46. We'll see. So what else can you see with Hillary Clinton's reemergence now? Hillary Clinton had an embarrassing masterclass announcement. You all remember that. Hillary Clinton weeping and crying, reading the speech, the victory speech she never got to read. That was so humiliating. And how much sulfur would be in those tears. That is just, Hillary Clinton tears, ladies and gentlemen, they're like acidic. They burn right through the armchair that she's sitting on. Very dangerous. Hillary Clinton crying around you. Run. Hillary Clinton is doing fundraisers. Yeah, that's right. For Tim Ryan in Ohio. Okay, so swing state there. She's doing fundraisers for like Rust Belt candidates for Democrats, right? The people that Democrats desperately need to win. Democrats cannot win national elections without the white working class. Also, recent polls showed that 50% of black respondents said that they want Joe Biden to be impeached. So not great with the black community either. Every single bit of data and information bad for Democrats. And now their propaganda wing, CNN, it seems like is just like on fire, dumpster fire. So Democrats are distancing themselves from Biden. A few weeks ago, GOP gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams and Texas gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke, absolute sociopaths, these two, and Democrat John Fetterman and Josh Shapiro ignored Biden's willingness to campaign with them. So in the must-win Senate seat in Pennsylvania, the Democrat candidates are saying no thank you to Joe Biden, dragging his old dandruffy, jowly, wrinkly, scaff-prone. I mean, this is why they don't want Joe Biden to say you ain't black, right? They don't want Joe Biden to come to Georgia. Stacey Abrams refuses to campaign with Joe Biden in Georgia because she doesn't want Joe Biden to be like, and if you don't vote for Macy Abrams, then you ain't black. Like that's what they don't want, right? So Beto O'Rourke is refusing to campaign with Biden. Stacey Abrams refusing to campaign with Biden. Looks like it's time for Hill Dog. Or is it? See, but that's the thing, is that like, as bad as it gets for Biden, we're watching Hillary Clinton's more recent appearances on corporate media. This would be clip 3. And she doesn't seem to be doing that well. Hillary Clinton getting trotted out on Rachel Maddow's show. It was essentially like just watching like a sensual intellectual massage between two people with a collective IQ, collective like room temperature IQ, like a solid 76. Go ahead and check out this kind of rough clip of Hillary Clinton in her most recent corporate media interview. Not barely able to make it through a few sentences without like hacking up a lung. Check it out.
More direct threat. Hillary Clinton is, oh, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there in a way that surprised you. Hillary Clinton.
So, yeah, doesn't sound great. I mean, she doesn't sound great. Joe Biden can't get through like, 2 sentences without coughing or hacking himself. You've obviously watched Joe Biden fall very badly down the stairs of Air Force One. You've watched the very sickly people who are in their 70s and 80s. Like Nancy Pelosi, she's just not there. Nancy Pelosi, like, good morning, Sunday morning. Like Nancy Pelosi's brain just snapping, not working. Her creepy re-announcement bid. Democrats got nothing. Democrats got nothing. They got no one. Their future is who? AOC? That's it? That's going to be their, like, standard bearer into the future? AOC? They got no one. That's why they turned to old diseased Bernie. Joe Biden can barely stand. Obviously brain broken. Hillary Clinton hacking up a lung. Hillary Clinton's going to be like 76 or 78 if she decides to run again. Joe Biden's nationwide overall approval rating is 33%. 25% among independent voters. You're done. You're finished. You're cooked. You're done. You can't win with 25% of independent voters supporting you. Joe Biden's approval rating is also very poor in Florida, swing state, hypothetically, right? 39% approve of Biden, 53% disapprove. By a 30-point margin, the polls say that Florida believes the nation is on the wrong track. Wow. And what do they say? The handling of the economy. This is Hillary Clinton's lane. Hillary Clinton's lane would be handling the economy. Hey, remember the Clinton years? Remember the boom of the Clinton years? Remember when we had a surplus? That's going to be Hillary's line. That's going to be the line. That's going to be it. All this woke nonsense, let's do a reset. The great reset will be Hillary Clinton saying, I'm going to go back to campaigning in steel mills and drinking beers and, we ain't no ways tired. Remember that from Hillary Clinton? I've come too far. I mean, do you guys remember that clip? Oh, it's so painful. It's so cringy. We'll play it next show. Oh, Hillary Clinton. Let's bring her back. Bring her back. It's going to happen. Trump saying he's going to be the 47th president. Hillary saying, like, sending out all of her minions, right? To go grease the skids. And now Donald Trump dropping a bomb on Jeff Zucker. Team just sent this to me. Our live team just sent this to me from Donald Trump. I haven't read it. I will read it to you live. Donald Trump talking about CNN's Jeff Zucker resigning. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we are doing this show live, so we're telling you the information as it happens. This just released legitimately 2.5 minutes ago. Okay, here we go. Statement by Donald Trump. Jeff Zucker, a world-class sleazebag who has headed ratings and real news challenged CNN, for far too long, has been terminated for numerous reasons, but predominantly because CNN lost its way with viewers and everybody else. Now it is a chance to put fake news in the back seat because there may not be any more important things than straightening out the horrendous lamestream media in our country. And in the case of CNN, throughout the world, Jeff Zucker is gone. Congratulations to all. Classic Trump. Seems like a couple of typos there. That one was sent really quickly. Just like Twitter all over again. Man, can't wait for Truth Social to launch. Truth Social launching this month at some point. Follow me at Benny when it launches. But Donald Trump, we're going to be getting Trump tweets again, or Trump truths, or whatever they're going to call it on Truth Social. Trump finishes his comment on Jeff Zucker. By the way, Trump and Jeff Zucker are like friends. Like Jeff Zucker was advising Trump during his presidential race. So just keep that in mind. They worked together on The Apprentice. They worked together at NBC News, Donald Trump and Jeff Zucker. So he knows this dude. Must have hurt when CNN went hard against him at the direction of Jeff Zucker. So in the case of CNN and throughout the world, anything more important than there may not be anything more important than straightening out the horrendous lamestream media in our country, and in the case of CNN, throughout the world. Jeff Zucker is gone. Congratulations to all. All right, well, there you go. LOL. All right, well, hey, listen, what else is dead? Well, Jeff Zucker's career. Many of the careers of complete and total scumbags and serial masturbators and soon-to-be convicted pedophiles at CNN. I mean, it's like grotesque over there. Who else is dead? What else is dead? Well, Joe Manchin says that Build Back Better bill is dead. Joe Manchin straight up says, you did. I told you he did. It's dead. Joe Manchin is saying it's dead. There's a funny Family Guy bit there where Peter walks into a KFC and asks to see Colonel Sanders, and the man behind the counter at KFC says, I told you he did. Joe Manchin told you Build Back Better is dead. Build Back Better is dead. Reading once again from Breitbart.com, Senator Joe Manchin on Tuesday told reporters that President Biden's Build Back Better agenda is dead, while activists promoted the measure outside the Capitol building. What Build Back Better bill? Manchin replied to reporters who questioned the senator about Biden's chief legislative initiative. I don't know what you guys are talking about. The reporters clarified their question in reference to the $2 trillion legislation Manchin killed in December. No. It's dead. I told you he did. It's so good. Manchin confirmed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and watch the tape. Clip 5, go.
With the very latest, Chad.
Good afternoon, Charles. Well, Democrats need a win after stumbling on voting legislation, and despite what Chuck Schumer says, Build Back Better is in the same place as it was in December. Democrat Joe Manchin says the original bill is dead.
Can you just clarify your remarks on Build Back Better? You're open to looking at the bill.
There's no formal process going on now.
Build Back Better could become Build Back broken up. The GOP is making a preemptive strike.
And now Washington Democrats are trying again to revive talk of yet another reckless bout of spending this year. American families are already hurting enough. They need that bad idea to stay buried.
You've got to love Joe Manchin. We have to come up with a new nickname for Joe Manchin. Savage Joe. The real President Joe, the man who invented mansions. Maybe that's why AOC hates him so much. Man, I tell you what, I'm telling you, it's amazing to watch this guy work. Joe Manchin is super popular in West Virginia. We were watching the State of the State in West Virginia the other day. That's because we just have nothing better to do, right? We're just pathological nerds, I guess, on our show. And Joe Manchin entered the House chamber in West Virginia, which is a state that went 70 points to Donald Trump, a state that was Donald Trump crushed Joe Biden. Joe Biden didn't win a single county in West Virginia. And Joe Manchin got a standing ovation in West Virginia. He's doing it right. He's doing it right. AOC doesn't send Joe Manchin to Congress. Bernie Sanders don't send Joe Manchin to Congress. West Virginia sends Joe Manchin to Congress. And the predominantly, you'd have to assume, overwhelming supermajority of Republicans in the Virginia State House applauded Joe Manchin. Boy, oh boy. That is doing it right. That is federalism at its best. Representing your people, regardless of your party. Which more people did that? On both sides. We'd have a better country. Republicans literally never do that. Republicans legitimately never listen to their base. Joe Manchin, at their very least, it doesn't matter what the letter is behind his name. He's listening to his base. He's listening to what West Virginians want and doing it. Well, that's called a representative democracy. Good for Joe. Good for Joe. I love this writing from Breitbart. Meanwhile, supporters of the legislation, Build Back Better, swayed their hips to music performed by a jazz band outside the Senate office buildings. The left is so pathetic. The legislation were to pass, it would likely increase the 40-year high inflation, subsidize child care, prescription drugs, and make it easier for the IRS to target taxpayers. Boo. Some of the signs that activists held were, "We care." Another dressed up in what appeared to be a marshmallow outfit with BBB printed on its chest. Oh, these people. They are so pathetic. I saw the... Good for you. Who wrote this at Breitbart? Good for you. Big pat on the back from me. I saw this. He's dressed up as the I'm Just a Bill from Schoolhouse Rock, but marshmallow with BBB is funnier. Manchin backed out of negotiations with Biden over the legislation. Spending $2 trillion on a 40-year high inflation would not benefit residents of West Virginia. Good for you, Joe Manchin. Good for you. Donald Trump beat Biden by 40 points in West Virginia. I'm not agreeing to any of this, Manchin said on the package on January 4th. There's been no conversations with the White House. I'm not going to add anything. We're not negotiating on Build Back Better. Dude, Joe Manchin, just such based dragon energy, that dude. Good for him. Good for him. The White House is furious. Jen Psaki, really angry. Jen Psaki was asked about Joe Manchin driving like the 20th final stake into the heart of the vampire of the Biden legislative agenda. And here's what she had to say.
Off the top, Senator Manchin just said that Build Back Better is dead. Was the White House aware that he felt this way, and what's the path forward for some of those Democratic priorities?
Well, as you know, as a policy, we're not going to get into private conversations we have with Senator Manchin or any other senators about this piece of legislation or our efforts moving forward. What I will note, and where there is strong support moving forward across the Democratic caucus, is on taking steps to lower costs for childcare, for health care, for elder care, on making sure that Medicare can negotiate the cost of prescription drugs, and ensuring the tax system is fair. Whatever you call that, there is strong support for that, strong passion for that, a lot of advocacy for that, and there are a lot of members having continued conversations about it.
Why is Jen Psaki dressed like Judge Dredd there? What is this outfit? Jen Psaki is dressed like a member of the new Empire. What's it called? Snoke in Star Wars, right? The new bad guys, right? I can't remember the First Order. The First Order. She's dressed like a First Order stormtrooper. First Order has stormtroopers that look like Jen Psaki is dressed right there. Come on. It's amateur hour. It's amateur hour at the White House, and they can't even get their own house in order. Joe Biden is so unpopular. Joe Biden, not the president. Joe Manchin's the guy who just goes and can crush everything. And we are so proud of Joe Manchin because, you know what? He's literally just doing what his constituents want. And it would be irritating for Republicans, but quite frankly, it would be really nice for Republicans to just straight up, it'd be really nice. My entire team's going, it's the First Order, the First Order. Okay, nerds. That's right. It'd be really nice if Republicans did the same thing Joe Manchin's doing. What would Republican leadership look like right now if they just listened to us, listened to the base? Hunter Biden and Dr. Fauci and Secretary Mayorkas would probably be in prison right now. They would have a wall. They would have a massive wall on the border. You wouldn't have this immigration problem. You wouldn't have this economic issue. You wouldn't have locked down ever. There's no listening to the base. There's no listening to the base. With the Republican Party. They do not will to power the way that Democrats do. The Democrats feel the will and then they make power out of it, right? They take the will of the people and then they turn it into power. Republicans need to do more of that. We are more than them. We are more people than them. And in representative democracy, that matters a lot. We're like 80% of the population, and we should start acting like it. We are born free men and women, and we intend to stay that way. And Republicans who aren't on board, we can find other Republicans that will do the job better. Don't you worry. There's a lot of great energy right now in the movement. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last story here for today. Biden slammed for refusing to deport illegal immigrants who are convicted felons. What did I just tell you? If Republicans listened to the base, we would have had that damn wall done. They don't listen to the base. They don't listen to the base. Republicans had super majorities. The Republicans had clear majorities, functional majorities in the House and in the Senate. When you have a very slim minority, like Nancy Pelosi has like a 4-vote margin in the House, it's tougher to do things. But Paul Ryan had a huge majority, and Mitch McConnell had a majority in 2016, 2017, the legislative year, and they didn't pass border wall funding. They didn't get the wall built. They didn't do it. It's very sad. And now this. Because they didn't listen to us, it didn't happen, and now America has to deal with Joe Biden getting slammed for refusing to deport illegal immigrants who are convicted felons. Just incredible. In case you needed any reminder that these people hate America, they hate you, and they don't want this country to be a good country. Because if you love the country that you're leading, you wouldn't let this happen to its people. You wouldn't import or open the doors to invasion some of the most dangerous people in the world. RNC National Committee slammed the Biden administration Department Homeland Security Secretary Alexandria Mayorkas for giving a pass to illegal immigrants who commit felonies. I mean, unbelievable. It's not just illegal immigrants. That used to be enough to get you, deported. You stayed in this country, and you're not supposed to be here, and and that's the law. And so now you're a felon based on that law, and you're going to go home. That was the Remain in Mexico policy. That was the policy under Trump. No longer. Now felons get to stay in our nation. Because of his orders, ICE has been forced to cancel deportation requests for many illegal immigrants who pleaded guilty to felony charges of evading arrest and convictions for drunken driving, drug possession, domestic assault, injuring family members, the GOP wrote. It comes amid numerous leaked videos of ICE agents speaking out against new policies. That's right. You're having a full-scale revolt for ICE agents. They are revolting against their leadership. And what happens? The Border Patrol is sort of like a military unit. You have agents on the ground. Many of these agents are armed. They are protecting our border. The Department of Homeland Security oversees them. You have commanders. It's like a military establishment. And so when you watch privates or whatever they're called, I don't actually know, but when you watch the lower rung agents openly defying their leadership, well, that's a huge breakdown. So let's play clip 7 and 8 back to back. We'll show you exactly how bad it's gotten inside of our Border Patrol and exactly how broken this system is, man. Is there a thing Biden hasn't broken in our country? Go.
I mean, that's the solution. And that hasn't been the case. Look, it's worse now than it frankly has been in at least 20 years, if not ever. But that is absolutely not the solution. And that's a hardship that you're enduring in service of mission. Yes, sir.
What exactly has changed in this new administration that's made it so worse? The last administration, the place was running fine. It seemed everyone was doing their job. It was under control. Now,
well, you're going to hear different theories depending upon who you ask. But no, that's why I'm going to give you my answer. I'll tell you something. Take a look at COVID. Take a look at the situation in those countries, and people are going to come north to the United States.
You're frustrated, you're upset because you didn't get the desired outcome that you want, doesn't mean you give up, right? I know you're not. That's why I'm saying we don't give up. We stay focused. We continue to do the job and the mission that we signed up for. Right? We all signed up for it. We all raised our hand.
to defend the Constitution, not the
It's not hard to say it. It may be hard for you to say it, but I've been doing this for 31 years. It's not hard for me to say it. Every day I wake up and I'm committed to this organization and I'm committed to each one of y'all.
They say the same thing, but it seems like the policy's not. But then you keep releasing criminals in the country.
You're getting bogged down in the policies and the politics.
You can't even say illegal alien.
What's that?
You can't even say that. That's why Chief Scott left.
You just said it.
You can't.
Is anything going to happen to you? You just said it.
The whole generation.
Why are you guys getting caught up in semantics?
For evil to prevail, good men must do nothing. It's like a like a Batman line that the border agent is shouting at his superior. Ladies and gentlemen, have you served in the military? Have you served in the police force? Have you served at a hospital? Like, you know that if you have a direct superior, who's not Jeff Zucker, of course, if you have a direct superior who's Jeff Zucker, you have a whole other mess of problems. But inside of any type of structure, but especially military or law enforcement structure, if you are openly defying your leadership, you have a major issue. That's a break in ranks. You are about to get routed. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. And these agents have every right to be furious at their superiors. These superiors are oftentimes political apparatchiks. They're often just there for personal advancement. Go talk to any enlisted man in the military about what they think about the armchair generals inside of the Pentagon and what the grunts think about the generals who fly around private, and eat caviar all day inside of the Pentagon. Mr. Mark Milley could definitely skip a few meals. Has definitely skipped leg day as of late. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no room to talk. I ate like 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches in a row yesterday. My team watched me do it, and they were disgusted. But not as disgusted as our country is after reading about what our Border Patrol is doing right now. The Washington Times says that the GOP highlighted 3 recent cases where deportation was canceled for illegal immigrants that committed crimes inside the United States. In one case, Hibierto Fuerte Padilla was driving his car while drunk in 2020. Got into a fatal accident with a Texas teenager. He attempted to flee the scene, but police were able to catch him. This man is murdering Americans, drunk driving, and slaughtering your children. I live in Florida, not too far from me. An illegal criminal migrant who's here because of Joe Biden slaughtered a small child. I think the child was perhaps 5 years old. I don't have the article in front of me. And that mother and that family will be devastated forever. I have little kids. You've probably had little kids, or maybe you want little kids one day. But let me tell you something. If a person allows your child to be killed, if a politician creates a policy that leads to your child being killed, if that is the result of the policy, the outcome of Joe Biden's policy is that Americans are dying, well, then, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see a revolt, the likes of which we have never seen in this country. And this is happening all across America. I mean, it's happening in my neighborhood. I'm in Florida right now. I live in Florida. It's happening in my neighborhood, and it's happening all around the country. This was one from Texas. This was an incident from Texas. And this man who committed manslaughter, this criminal migrant, because it is criminal to be in our country illegally, and then it is felonious to stay in our country illegally, this criminal migrant was able to stay in America because of new rules issued by Mayorkas in September. That's right. So he's no longer a priority deportation. Okay, you can just go kill Americans. They're importing killers. They're importing killers to slaughter us on our streets, in our homes, in our homeland, and they're doing nothing. How is this not the first story today? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how this, there are so many disastrous things happening under the Biden regime that this is our last story. It is truly, truly disgusting. According to the Washington Times, his sentence runs through 2025. ICE had a detainer request on Vasquez, but told Texas last month that it was canceling the detainer under the new priorities. Another case involved a Thai immigrant who was convicted of drug possession in 2017, drunk driving, and fleeing the police. This Thai immigrant has been released after a month in prison. Unbelievable. In Thailand, what would be the result of you drunk driving and selling drugs and fleeing the police in Thailand? Thailand is still a monarchy, I think, and as I recall, is not too pleasant to criminals in Thailand. In September, Mayorkas issued new guidance allowing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers to exercise more discretion in deciding which immigrants should be targeted and arrested for deportation. Oh, that's smart. That's really smart. The guidelines, which went into effect in November, allow ICE officers more freedom to decide which immigrants should be targeted, a change from guidelines that gave strict categories for officers to follow. Okay, so you're going to take the woke and the SJW officers directly out of the training facilities in Washington, D.C., and out of criminal justice, like corrupted, communist compromised criminal justice departments all around America, and you're going to say, well, let's just apply critical race theory to our deportations. Really great. Officers are also encouraged to weigh in factors like age of the immigrant, how long they've been in the United States, how long the crime was committed, and the effect of deportation. This is the end of society. It's the end of society. Exercising your discretion as far as prosecutorial and deportation for criminals. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are importing murderers and they murder someone, they murder Americans, these people aren't supposed to be here. The people they're murdering are native-born Americans, and then you're allowing that? And that's not the biggest story in the country right now? That's the end of your society. That's the end of the country. And you don't get worse than reports like this. These are the lives of American citizens being taken by non-citizens, and the penalties are you get to stay here. If we don't have a change, and a change right now in how we do business in this nation, there is no nation left. Truly, a lot of people talk and a lot of people email me about, the great breakup and the division of the country and maybe the peaceful separation in America. I don't want it. But it's hard to look at stories like this and think, people are going to stay here and live like this. People are going to remain in America like this. It's hard to sit here and stare at these stories and say, yeah, I'm going to compromise with these people. I'm going to compromise with the people who want the slaughter of my kids. These kids that are dying, they're little kids. The kid who died here in, I think it was Ocala, Florida, was killed by an illegal immigrant who was drunk driving at like 20x the legal limit, and he slammed into a car and he killed a 5-year-old American. Where is the outrage? Where? I'm outraged, and everyone I know is outraged, but you see no stories like this in our corporate media. In fact, you watch Jen Psaki essentially demean and or put aside or tut away from stories about violence and criminality under the regime. It cannot stand. It will fall. Ladies and gentlemen, we are winning. We are winning in so much as people are becoming awake. You've seen it in the trucker convoys. You've seen it in the Supreme Court decisions. You've seen it in the marches. People are becoming awake. What we needed was to grab the NFL fan off of the couch, pull his ass off the couch, slap him around a little bit and say, hey, maybe it's time for you to recognize that your government isn't trustworthy and that your government's been lying to you and that they don't want your best interest. They actually are perfectly fine with you living a miserable life and perhaps dying young by one of their policies. It's time for people to be awakened to that reality. We've been woke to it to a long time. Woke. We've been awake. I try and say awake instead of woke. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just not going to put up with it anymore. It's like the classic scene out of The Network. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. In 2022, it's going to be a bloodbath. That may be the last stand for freedom in this nation. We'll see what happens, but we'll be covering it all here, ladies and gentlemen. To recap, CNN, dumpster fire. Everyone's like a bunch of just garbage people have been fired from CNN. Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN, after 9 years, has left in shame and disgrace. Bill and Hillary may be headed back to the White House. We'll see. Hillary Clinton is the queen of warmongering herself. Is rattling the sabers, saying she wants to run again. And Donald Trump is saying that he may be running again once more. So we'll have Hillary Trump matched up once again. Democrats are essentially paving the way for this by even the most radical Democrats keeping their distance from Joe Biden and members of his own party, saying that the regime is dead and the regime's priorities are dead. And, ladies and gentlemen, too many Americans right now are dying at the policies of Joe Biden's open borders. It's time for Republicans to listen. It's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to prioritize God, family, country. That is how we save America. And saving America is the only thing we're interested in doing on this channel. So if you're watching and you enjoyed our broadcast today, please subscribe. Please click like, ring that beautiful bell for notifications, and please tell people about our show. We will be broadcasting every single day live at 11:30 a.m. The news that you can use and things to make you sound smart. And, ladies and gentlemen, we just love America. We want to save this place. We love this place a lot, and we love all of you. Thank you so very much for watching. God bless you. Have an awesome rest of your day. See ya.